Tonight, we'll see areas of showers and thunderstorms early, mostly cloudy later on with a low of 63. Sunny tomorrow and a high of 87. Monday night, patchy fog starts late, clear with a low of 61. I'm Patrick McMillan on News Radio WGNS. Right now, it's 73.
It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. You know, if you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
News Radio WGNS, Murfreesboro. The views and opinions on this show are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of WGNS, its management, other hosts, or advertisers.
Good evening, everyone. Ed Raymer with you with the Edwin Lee Raymer Show. On another, I don't know what part of the country you all are in, but here in Murfreesboro, we've started getting a little bit more rain, and that's okay. Not a torrential downpour, but a little bit more rain, and it should help our gardens and should help our yards. I was talking to my son the other day. Most of you do know him, and ours you can just about sit and watch it grow. It's amazing, really. And we got everybody through, I guess, the 4th of July holiday, hopefully safe and sound. And tonight is somewhat of a special night, I will tell you. I have been on the air here at WGNS now. This is 10 years tonight. And some days it feels like 10 years. And Jackson feels the same way, and he hadn't been here but just a few months. Son, you're getting a little bit busy, aren't you, on Sunday? I mean, you got a lot of broadcasts. That'll make time go by fast. And got new programming coming in all the time. And, we're glad to be here. I'll talk a little bit about how I got here and what have you over that 10-year period. And, how this started out and everything. And give you just a bit of a history. And Carol Ann, hello. If you're listening, hello. New friends that have just left, they're supposed to be listening. They're headed back to Nashville. Folks, be careful. This young man has a play they're going to be doing on child support, and I'll give them a plug because through Angela Bingham's show at 6, I want y'all to always take notice of her because she's doing some fine things here in Murfreesboro and Rutherford County, and just a fine lady and a good friend. But for right now, we can, Jackson, let's get this kicked off. For right now, my name is Edwin Lee Raymer, and yes, I'm still a private investigator. Welcome aboard.
This is the Edwin Lee Raymer Show with your host, Ed Raymer, on your good neighbor station, News Radio, WGNS Murfreesboro.
And that is a little stiff upper lip for you from AC/DC. And yes, this is Edwin Lee Raymer Show, and I'm your host, Ed Raymer. This show is produced at the studios of WGNS, AM 1450, 100.5, 101.9 FM, right here in the heart of the great volunteer state, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. You can reach me tonight with your questions, comments, or thoughts at 615-893-1450. That's 615-893-1450. 893-1450. You can also send us a text to that number here to the station, and Jackson will be glad to read it over the air, write it down, hand it to me, and I'll read it, whatever. For those of you who do not wish to be heard live on the air. Now, you can also watch us on YouTube live at WGN. I can never remember that, Jackson.
News Radio WGNS.
News Radio WGNS. Okay. I have to put a plaque up here or something I can look at. News Radio WGNS, or you can pick up my show at Edwin Lee Raymer Show, and they're all there. They're there and should come up. We are on the air live right now, and glad to be with you. And like I said, always you can go to the WGNS, go to your app store, get WGNS app, and take WGNS with you wherever you go, and listen whenever you wish. Now that that's out of the way, I want to tell you about a new sponsor that have been good enough. They've been good enough to come aboard with me, and I certainly appreciate them. Keep It Running Heating and Air. Now, if your family's looking for a local family-owned heating and cooling company, let me introduce you to Joe at Keep It Running Heating and Cooling Company. Now, Joe's been in this business over 12 years, okay? And he and his company, Keep It Running, are located right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. They're fully insured, fully licensed, all the bells and whistles that go with it, and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to help you and your family with all your heating and cooling needs. So if you're looking for a company you can trust, call Joe today at 615-962-2397. That's 615-962-2397. And visit their website at www.keepitrunning keepitrunningheatingandcooling.com, and you can catch them on Facebook as well. And has been at this for more than a decade. I highly recommend them. I know I have not had the pleasure of meeting Joe, but I know his wife, Melissa, and she is just a wonderful, wonderful person and a go-getter. I'll tell you. And they're going to do well, and I'm glad to know they're here in Rutherford County. I want to tell you, tonight, as I said, is 10 years that I've been with this station. And it's been a good 10 years. I'll say that much. We have ups and downs and bumps and humps like everyone else. But all in all, it's been good. Now, let me tell you how this thing started. A lot of people ask, how in the world did you ever get into that? How did that happen? I was up here one day, and there was a young gentleman here by the name of Zach Troutman, and he worked as the producer on the board for a lot of broadcasts back then, did a lot of work here at WGNS. Last I heard, Zach, he had left here and went to the rural radio, country radio, country television, or whatever it was, RFD TV or something of that nature, I believe it is, down in Nashville. Now, I don't know, and I haven't kept up with Zach. I don't know where he is now, but he's still probably around. But it was just a mix of common sense and book sense as well, and the mixture worked so well together. He's just a bright young man. And I was doing some voiceovers, some bumpers for, I think one of them might have been back then the Truman Show. You're listening to the Truman Show, and back in 30 seconds, stuff like that. And that was on a Wednesday, and I don't know why, it's always stuck with me. And so we finished up, and that was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, well, okay, take care, I'll see you. He said, listen, this PI show thing, because I own Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee, as many of you know. He said, and I had talked with Bart about this several years before, but I just didn't feel like at the time, those years before, that I really had enough credence to do the show justice, to do a broadcast justice. And I was new and all that. So anyway, he said, I want to tell you, he said, Ed, I think that would make a good broadcast. He said, I think it'd make a good program. I said, well, I'll tell you what. Talk to the powers that be, talk to Bart, Scott, talk to Brian Barrett, see what they say. And I'd like to do it on a Sunday night. And I started, anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyway, like I said, that was a little after 3 o'clock. And by the time I got home, and normally in those days back then, a decade ago, I was very bad about checking email. I thought, well, I got some time before we sit down to eat. I'm going to check my email. Sure enough, Zach had written, said, hey, Ed, I talked to the station about it. They're wild about it. Said they'll put you on the air tonight. I said, well, I don't think I want to go on the air tonight. But, and I said I need to talk to the wife about it. I picked up the phone call and I said, I need to talk to the wife about this and be sure, because Sunday night is a commitment you have to keep. And you have a responsibility to your guests, to your sponsors, and to the station. And so, anyway, we put one thing together with another, and the two ladies that were working with me, and they're still with me, by the way, Lori and Krista. Krista Barriquette, Lori James. They were the first two ladies ever called me asking for a job, and I've never forgotten that. And, I said, look, I know you didn't sign up for this, but if you could help me out on this thing to be a couple of sidekicks, so to speak, I would appreciate it. And what we're going to do the PI show with Edwin Lee Raymer. And I said, I wasn't much on the idea, wasn't much on the whole thing, but we went with it. And then after about 2.5, 3 years, and I know Matt Davis, Matt, if you're listening, I appreciated your comment. He said, this week I was looking for ideas for a show, for programming. And Matt wrote, said, hey, I kind of miss the old PI days when you told people how to help themselves just by the cameras they could use and things like that. And I appreciate those comments. I really do. And thank you, Matt, if you're listening. And, but we had just ran out, I had, of anything to do. And the girls had not signed up for that. The ladies hadn't. And I said, I'm going to have to move on. And so I said I'd never do politics. Well, guess what? Today I'm doing politics. And, not always. We've had Emmy Award winners, Grammy Award winners on. We've had them all, politicians, gang members, you name it, business people, teachers, preachers, the whole gamut. I'll look at anybody that's got something to say. And sports figures, of course. And it's been a good run. And I appreciate it. And I hope to be here, hang around here for some time more if the powers that be will allow me to do that, and I appreciate that. I thank WGNS, I really do. Bart Walker and Scott Walker and their families. And Brian Barrett, I thank Brian and his family and their son Dalton, another he's a chip off the old block, folks. He really has his stuff together on this thing and out doing his own thing now. And it's been a pretty good journey. It really has. And so that's how we got here. And so, I'm going to leave it at that. Right now, I'm going to go to our first series of breaks, if we could. And with Jackson back in here. But that's a little synopsis, a little summary of how we got to where we are. And this is it, So at any rate, it's been a good 10 years. So, I've got some things I'm going to be doing for you here. I put out, as I said earlier, a thing on Facebook earlier this week about ideas for a show. And I'm going to go over some of those when we come back. Right now, Jackson's here. We're going to go through our first series of breaks if we can. My name is Edwin Raymer, the host with the Edwin Lee Raymer Show. Back with you right after this. Stay with us. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. If you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
Hey, this is Ed, everybody. Want to tell you about a sponsor of ours. We've got Complete Yard Care. Their slogan is, we do it all. Low maintenance landscape design, retaining walls, tree removal, stump grinding, lawns cut, mulching, landscaping. Now you can reach them at 615-785-0384. Or you can look them up on the web at CompleteYardCareTN.com. They have a 5-star ranking on Google. That's Complete Yard Care. We do it all. Go to J. Mullins Jewelers and check out their collection of reactor watches. They're located at 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And also custom-made jewelry. If you want it, they can make it for you. Also gifts for any and all occasions. Weddings, graduations, family reunions, anniversaries, all of it. That's J. Mullins Jewelers, 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. All right, and we are back, and I do believe I have a caller on the line. Caller, you are on the air with Ed Raymer. Please go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Ed, how you doing today? This is Mr. Wayne Buckingham from WAB Sports. You doing all right tonight?
Doing fine, Coach. We're getting a little wet here in Murfreesboro, but other than that, we're going to be just fine. How are you?
Yeah. Same down here in Bell Buckle, Tennessee. The heavens opened up on us earlier today. It's been raining ever since.
I'm telling you. Well, it'll be good to help the gardens and help the yards. So, you know. What you got going on? I understand you've got some events coming up, especially next weekend. You're going to be a busy fella.
Yeah, this upcoming weekend down in Murfreesboro over at the Fish House at 1626 Murfreesboro, Tennessee Boulevard. That Saturday morning at 10 a.m., we are hosting our 12th annual School for Tools. We have about close to 1,000 book bags, school supplies will be given out to kids there in Murfreesboro, Middle Tennessee.
Right.
I have a lot of my NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball guys coming in for that weekend to mentor to the kids, autographs, and take pictures. Just a fun day.
Now, Coach, let me get this right. This is where the old Kroger, or the Kroger was that they shut down, right?
Yes, sir. The
right.
old Kroger and the Sonics right there.
The
yes,
Sonic, right,
property.
Okay. Got it. Right, the Fish House. Okay.
All right. That address is 1626 Middle Tennessee Boulevard, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, 370-130.
Sounds like a good thing. And what else is going on? Tell us about it all.
And then that Sunday, after we do the school supplies and the tools for school, that Sunday we'll have an autograph signing back at the Fish House that Sunday night at 5 to 10, where all the business owners and the people who donated money towards the cause and the people who's playing in the golf tournament get to hang out with the celebrities and take pictures for the grown folks. Saturday morning will be for the kids, then Sunday night will be for the grown folks and the business owners because we have a golf tournament that Monday morning at Indian Hills Golf Course right there in Murfreesboro. And that's helping us raise money for the cause of what we're doing for the whole weekend for the Tools for School.
All right. Okay. And then Monday is it a scramble?
Yes, sir. It's a 4-man scramble Monday. We do have a few more spots for teams. The cost of that is $150 per person to play in the tournament. That gives you access to Sunday night at the meet and greet, plus 18 holes of golf to hang out with these guys for a great cause. We got food and trophies and plaques and a lot of great awards given away during the tournament. Just a joyful weekend, really. This is our 12th year.
12 years. Tonight, I don't know if you heard or not, this is my 10-year anniversary here at, here at the
happy
station.
anniversary.
Yeah, I've been here 10 years.
Decade.
They've let me hang around that long. But it's been good. But y'all been at this for a while then, so you've honed this thing. You know what you got going on.
Yeah, we've been at it for a while. I'm originally from Bell Buckle, Tennessee. God blessed me in '86 to go to prep school in Atlanta, where I went to school down there and graduated, went to Clemson University.
Right.
In '89, graduated in '93 from there, played in the NBA for a little while overseas, and retired out of Israel. And retired in 2005. And I've been working with kids and helping others from South Carolina, Georgia, and Tennessee, my hometown.
Right.
And this is what I do.
Bell Buckle is a wonderful, wonderful, quaint little area. I've always loved Bell Buckle.
Hey, I love it myself. I said I've been all around the world to come back to Bell Buckle, and the population still 500.
No, it's unbelievable. Yeah, I know, and but it's nostalgic all on its own. It stands by itself. I mean, don't y'all have is it the moon pie and?
They had a moon pie festival every year.
Okay.
And the arts and crafts.
Yeah, right.
Them
okay.
Our two big. Then we got that Bell Buckle Cafe now. Everybody and their mama done ate there now.
I know.
Famous, the Bell Buckle Cafe.
Right, a friend of mine that used to eat there all the time. He's no longer with us, but he loved that place. And I've never eat there. I never have. I need to take the wife and go down. Wow. Yeah, I need to take the wife and go down there.
You need to come on down here. Your 10-year anniversary. Come on down here. Let me take you out to dinner down into the Bell Buckle Cafe. Hey, they were actually one of our corporate sponsors, and they've been for the last 10 years.
I'll be darned. Man, I'll tell you. Bell Buckle Cafe. How long have they been there, Coach?
Ooh, Lord have mercy. I'm 53, 54, 53. Now, I know it's been 53 years. I've been there since I've been known.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'll be doggone. That is that's really something. Okay.
And you think of Bell Buckle, that's all you think about is Bell Buckle Cafe.
Well, every small area. I was born in a small town up in western Kentucky. It's coal mining down in Luzerne, Kentucky. Okay. And every little town, for real. I give everyone my resume. I was born in Luzerne, Kentucky, and when I moved over to the big city of Manitou, Kentucky, in Hopkins County, where I was raised.
Right.
So I've been around the world, and I'm talking to a fellow traveler because you're in Bell Buckle. I mean, so we kind of know our way around,
I'm trying to. And let me tell you this: my high school coach is from your hometown, Coach David Jones.
Are you kidding me? He's from Muhlenberg County.
Yeah, Coach David Jones. He's from there, and he lives in Atlanta now. He's been in Atlanta, but he goes back and forth there all the time. He drives through here, blows his horn at me, calls me every once in a while. But he's retired. He's a legend there.
Well, you ask him if he knows any of the Raymer family, because we've been there since Noah unloaded the boat.
So I'm sure going to ask him that. Then I got a couple of basketball teammates that played with me at Clemson. It's from
Hopkinsville, Kentucky.
Yeah,
yes.
Chris Whitney and Greg Buckner.
I go back to the days in the 70s. There was a young man from Christian County, which is where Hopkinsville is. And my coach at that time, Harlan Peden, coached him. Billy Ray Cheatham. And he was one of the fastest. I know that. He was one of the fastest players. Coach Peden told me he was incredible for that time, And nobody, I don't think he ever went to college or anything, but he was just a fantastic high school basketball player. And where we're from, and my dad played with Muhlenberg Central. So years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's a
Don
small
Raymer,
world.
I'm telling you right now. So
it's a small world.
Yeah, I'm sure your coach friend knows of the Raymers, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, and actually I'm thinking he's supposed to let me know. I think he might stop in because I invited him up too, because he comes to some of my events. He's retired now, so he can do a lot more traveling.
Right.
But yeah, he comes through here all the time going up there. He comes right down 24. And that's why I got most definitely call him tomorrow. Let him know that.
Give him a call and let him know. Raymers, Raymer. He can catch my show here. I'm on podcast.
Right,
and Coach, if it's all right, I'm gonna have you got anything else?
Yeah. If anybody want to know about WAB Sports, that's W is in Wayne, A is in Apple, B is in Buckingham, sports.com. That's our website. It's got everything that we do here in Middle Tennessee. Just go online and Google WAB Sports. It's got all the information about the weekend and other stuff we do, helping kids get into school, scholarships, funds, and our STEM program and all that. Go on there and check it out. We do take donations online through there.
Right.
It's just something that, when I retired in 2005 to come back home and do something in our hometown, just not Bell Buckle, but Middle Tennessee.
Right.
This is a fun weekend, even for the older people to come out. And then think about this now. Saturdays for kids K through 6th grade.
Okay, K through 6. All right.
K through 6 from 10 to 1. 10 to 1 at the Fish House right there at the old Kroger's parking lot. We got jumpy houses.
Okay. Right.
And we will be feeding the kids as they come through. And we got activities set up for them to have a great time that day with the athletes and everybody that's coming out and everything. If they have any questions about anything, they go to the website or they give us a call at 331-472-9828. That's 331-472-9828. And if they want to play golf with these guys, we got a few spots left open for that. They can call in for that or go to the website, okay?
Yes, sir. And Coach, remember, tell all your people this week they can get this information. We are on YouTube and it is recorded, and Jackson loads it up as soon as we're done here on Sunday night. So they can get that information there, or we are on podcast at WGNSradio.com. Okay.
We'll share that out, and hopefully y'all can come out and get some interviews and talk to some of the guys.
It is a pleasure to talk to you, and tell your coach that Ed Raymer said hello. Okay.
I will do that, Ed. I will do that. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thank you for calling and letting me know about this. Thank you so much, and good luck to you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Good night, sir. Okay. Very good. And we have another caller on the line right now. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Happy anniversary, Mr. Raymer. I just wanted to did not know it was 10 years, but I hope it's 10 more.
Well, I didn't get any flowers from you.
Well, I mean, I don't see you get cake just go bounce all over the place. So, we don't want to do that. I don't want to see when I want you when you send them bad Trump cakes, they bounce all over the country. They had one of them I seen that covered up the TNT and said rum on there. Rum. Trump had rum on there.
I'm telling you.
TP part of it.
What's been happening this week? I haven't heard that much from you.
Not too much. I just want to say I let you know, there was an article today in the papers real quick there about the state legislature. 14% of Tennesseans strongly disapprove of what the state legislature is doing. Only 12% strongly approve of the legislature what they're doing.
What about the other massive percentage? They just didn't say anything?
They did things on the expulsions. They had 39% approved them, 39% disapproved, 23 was neutral.
Now, expulsion for what? What?
For the Jones and Pearson when the two guys failed.
Right. Yeah.
They don't know what they thought about them and that's some other stuff, but they said it was more Tennessee and strongly disapprove of what their proposals are doing and strongly approve. So 14 to 12. Of course, that ain't much. 14 to 12, but about like U.S. Congress, everybody's low too. So it's pretty low.
Yeah, they've got a pretty low. Approval, if you want to call it approval. I don't know if they'd be approved for anything.
I mean, not really. No, I don't know not much, but no, they said some different, different things in the article I read today. And there was an article too about the Blue Oval City. Boy, I tell you what, it's really interesting. They're trying to they got to cut a highway through there for the workers to get there. It ain't like you said before. We go here and cut us a road. Joe Blow and Joe gets a tractor.
Yeah.
They're talking about cutting a road, and the black farmers, got a lot of land over there, and they're buying it up, and some of the farms are really ticked because they say the State Department of Transportation has come through there and say it's eminent domain, and they're not giving them what they think the land's worth.
Really?
One guy, he had about 400 acres, and they was going to buy about 11 or 12 of his, and they only offered him $3,500 an acre.
That's about a day's standard. Of course, now I have no idea where this property is, but
yeah, well, it's in Stanton. It's in Stanton it's nearby where it's Brownsville, but Brownsville's not very far from Stanton, kind of a few miles.
right.
I guess where the factory is going to be in Stanton, but Brownsville's a major, Hayward County.
Yeah, yeah. Now you're talking about the Ford plant?
Yeah, the Ford yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, Brownsville was majority black, 50% black, and most of the black farmers, the farmers that got the land and things, they're just really. And he says people around him get a lot more money than that for their land, a lot more money.
My brother and sister-in-law lived in that area for a while when they first married. They were down there.
Yeah, and they got signs to welcome them, and most of the people are for them coming. It's 27,000 jobs. You know that?
27,000 jobs.
Jobs. It's going to be about $1 billion every year.
Oh, it's a massive. That's quite an expansion. It's a massive.
And then one of the Edwin Lee, I'm sure you heard about Jimmy and Ralph and Carter's weekend. Did you hear about that?
No, I did not. I don't believe.
How long do you think they've been married?
Mr. and Miss Carter?
Yeah.
Wasn't it 70-something years?
Double touchdown, 77.
77 years.
77.
Unbelievable. That is just unbelievable.
Ralph and Carter is 95. She'll be 96 next month in August. 96.
That's unbelievable.
If Jimmy Carter survived, he'll be 99 October 1st.
It is. They are
he'll be 99 now.
They are an incredible couple, and our own from here. I'm sure you know this. I don't know if you know it or not. You're familiar with Jeff Jordan. You know Jeff. We all know him.
Oh yeah.
He got to go to President Carter's Bible class, the Sunday school class. Yes. He got to go once, and he said an incredible job. Of course, the place is always packed. There was more people there for Sunday school than there was for worship service, I believe.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. They still live down in the
Plains.
Down in Plains, but I was reading a little bit about it. And they said how they really met is Ralph saw his picture. I guess he was in the service, his uniform.
Right.
That's how she fell in love with it. It's in 1946. Later on that year, they got married. 1946. July 7th, 1946. They got married. 1946 when they got married.
I'll tell you, that old peanut farmer did pretty good for himself, didn't he?
He did pretty good. He's governor of Georgia before he got president of the United States. He did pretty good. She helped him win two pretty big offices, didn't she?
Oh, I'm telling you, yeah.
I know he's in a Alzheimer's care now, but I sure hope he can make it to October. There's something else. He's really his faith is really strong. I tell you,
it's unbelievable.
Really great story, and there's just actually she's the second longest living first lady.
Really?
In America.
Unbelievable.
Who do you think the longest one is?
I have no idea.
Harry Truman's wife.
Harry Truman's Bess Truman. Okay.
97 years, 247 days.
Good Lord. I'll tell you one.
97. She's born 1885.
Great day. Isn't that something?
But
Jeff.
I just want to all ask you. We chat, baby. I hope it's 10 more. And have a great weekend. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeff Neal. Always a pleasure to have Jeff with us. And thank you, Jeff, for your continued support of this broadcast. We appreciate it. I want to tell you about a new sponsor I've got here before I forget it, because if I forget, this young lady will wear me out. I mean, she'll rake me over the coals. I want to tell you. Keep It Running Heating and Cooling. Now, if you and your family are looking for a local family-owned heating and cooling company, I want to introduce you to Joe at Keep It Running Heating and Cooling Company. Joe has been at this for more than a dozen years, 12 years in the field. Joe and his company, Keep It Running, they're located right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and they're fully licensed and insured. They're available for your needs, heating and cooling needs, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And give them a call. If you're looking for a company you can trust, and believe me, they are in the right business at the right time. Call Joe today at 615 615-962-2397. That's 615-962-2397. Or visit their website at www.keepitrunning.heatingandcooling.com, and you can catch them on Facebook as well. I really believe they're headed in the right direction, folks. I really do, and I think they're in the right business at the right time. Now, I've got some things loaded up here for you. Jackson's been good enough to load them up. And I want to play you something. These are all courtesy of YouTube, and CNN is this one. And this is the former Trump supporter that says she was brainwashed. This is about 5.5 minutes long. I want you to listen to this. It's important. I know some of you hear, but not only do I want you to hear, I want you to listen. Take a listen to this lady. Jackson.
Earlier, we told you about the January 6th defendant arrested with weapons in President Obama's neighborhood, but now another January 6th defendant, a grandmother and former Trump supporter who went to prison for her actions on January 6th, who's now speaking out against the former president for what she calls his gaslighting. Gary Tuckman has more.
As she celebrates America's independence at a fireworks show here in Boise, Idaho, 70-year-old Pam Hemphill can't help but remember how she felt on July 4th of last year, because she was getting ready to go to prison.
Even though you were unhappy and scared in prison, you feel you were guilty of what the crime was.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
The January 6th Capitol insurrection. Mother and grandmother Pam Hemphill, who had recently been diagnosed with breast cancer, was there. She had long enjoyed taking video of political events and told police at the Capitol she was a citizen journalist. But she also believed former President Donald Trump's false claims that he won the election. And this is what she was telling people outside the Capitol as she shot her video.
Whose house does it belong to? It's my house. Come on in. You just come in. Come on in.
She continued shooting video.
Where are the people?
And Pam Hemphill ended up inside the Capitol building. She flew back to Idaho, still believing much of the dogma she had been taught that led to her coming to the Capitol.
The Democrats wanted this to be a communist country and that they were drinking baby's blood.
Did you believe that?
No, I thought that was kind of weird.
Okay. But did you believe that the Democrats wanted this to be a communist country?
Yes.
It wasn't until months later that Hemphill was arrested on multiple charges. After a plea bargain and pleading guilty to illegal entry to the Capitol, she was sentenced to 2 months in a federal prison in California.
I live with the fear every minute. You just live with it.
When she got out of prison this past September, she did have questions about the far-right talking points about Trump, but still considered herself a Trump supporter. However, a few months ago, she had a revelation.
So when you heard the former president say that he would consider pardoning some J6ers, it changed your mind?
Absolutely, 100%.
And what did you then think of Donald Trump?
That's it. He's just a master manipulator. He doesn't believe anything. He just thinks he's smart enough to pull the wool over you. But there's people like me waking up.
And do you feel the former president's responsible for that?
Absolutely. He's the king of the gaslighting. It's a cult. It's a cult.
And then this happened just about a week and a half ago.
A right-wing person wrote something that's inaccurate, but it's important to this story. I'm going to read it. American justice, 69-year-old grandma with cancer given more prison time for walking inside U.S. Capitol than Hunter Biden for sharing classified documents with foreign regimes and multi-million-dollar bribery schemes. And then Donald Trump shared it on his Truth Social with the comment, horrible. When you saw that or heard about it, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
I got up, I was very angry, and I said, this is it. This is it.
In fact, Hunter Biden recently agreed to plead guilty to 2 tax misdemeanors to resolve a felony gun charge in exchange for a recommendation of probation. What Pam Hemphill decided to do was call out the former president on social media, writing, "Please, Donald Trump, don't be using me for anything. I'm not a victim of January 6th. I pleaded guilty because I was guilty. Stop the spin." And now Pam Hemphill wants to go back to the U.S. Capitol, but this time to testify under oath about January 6th. And she's already prepared what she wants to say if she's invited.
I am not a victim of the government. The Justice Department was not weaponized against me. I was a participant. We broke the law.
And she talks about the Capitol Police in her speech.
In the crowd, I was pushed down. My head was trampled on. My shoulder pulled out. The Capitol Police saved my life that day. I want them to know how truly grateful I am to them and how deeply sorry I am for what happened and how they continue to be treated to this day.
Today, Pam Hemphill takes solace in her supportive friends on social media, her family, and God.
What would you say to Donald Trump if you could talk to him face to face, like you're talking to me right now?
Retire, get honest, because you know, when you meet your maker, you know, that's more important.
Gary joins us now. What a journey she's been on. What is next for her?
So her sentence includes 3 years of probation. So some of the conditions are she can't commit a crime, she can't own a gun, she can't leave the state without permission. Politically, she says she wants to remain a registered Republican, but if Donald Trump runs against Joe Biden next year in the general election, there's no way she says she'd vote for Trump, she'd vote for Joe Biden. If it's a different Republican, she'll do her research and make a decision closer to the election. One final thing, Anderson, Pam Hemphill is still fighting breast cancer. And she says right now her life's goal is to, quote, make things right. Anderson.
Well, we wish her the best with her health and her family. Gary Tuckman, thanks so much.
How's that grab you, sports fans? You know, it's amazing how going to prison will change a person. All right? I'll tell you what I want to do. Carol Ann, thank you for tuning in. AJ, we are on YouTube if you're listening. And, of course, we're on WGNSradio.com. And all of our shows there on podcast. You can listen in. Of course, you can listen in on regular radio, too. A lot of people seem to have forgotten that over the years. That's what we signed up for, was radio. So anyway, and thank you all. Jackson, let's go to our last series of breaks if we can. And then I'll be back with you right after this, okay? This is Edwin Lee Raymer Show. I'm Ed Raymer. Stay with us. Back right after these words. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. You know, if you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org.
Hey, this is Ed, everybody. Want to tell you about a sponsor of ours. We've got Complete Yard Care. Their slogan is, we do it all. Low maintenance landscape design, retaining walls, tree removal, stump grinding, lawns cut, mulching, landscaping. Now you can reach them at 615-785-0384. Or you can look them up on the web at CompleteYardCareTN.com. They have a 5-star ranking on Google. That's Complete Yard Care. We do it all. All right, and we are back. Thank you. You know, Bill Wilson's in here, and he's got some guests that are coming in here in just a few minutes. And I'll give him a little plug. American Ninja Warrior. Tune in on NBC July 17th. Okay, at 7 p.m. our time. And they're out there right now, and he's going to have them in here in just a few minutes. So that's American Ninja Warrior on NBC on July 17th. Okay, and look them up, see what's going on. I'm not familiar with it at all. I just met them. Just met them here in the last 60 seconds. So that's going to be exciting. Okay. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, all the people that support this broadcast. Now, I've got a couple more things that Jackson's been good enough to pull up. Let's see. I want Jackson. Can we go to this? Donald Trump humiliates himself during Iowa event. Now, we're going to have to cut this off at 7:30, about 7, maybe even before that, because it's got foul language in it. Okay, and this is courtesy of the Midas Touch, and I got this off YouTube. I want you to hear this. This is Ben Masalis with the Midas Touch. Go ahead, Jack.
Donald Trump was in Council Falls, Iowa, before a small group of people for a so-called rally, more like a traveling fascist circus. Let's take a look at what went down. As we've said, this person is extreme, dangerous, fascist, vile, lies about everything. But take a look what went down during this speech. So he opens it up for questions, and he's asked by a supporter in Iowa what he would do to save farmland from CO2 pipelines. He seems to have, take a look at this, no idea what she's talking about, but he says, I'll have a plan. I'm going to come up with a plan, just like the infrastructure week's coming, the healthcare plan is coming. He has no clue what he's talking about when he's actually asked about policy. Play this clip.
Yeah. Well, you know we're working on that, and you know we had a plan to totally, it's such a ridiculous situation, isn't it? But we had a plan, and we would have instituted that plan, and it was all ready. But we will get it back. If we win, that's going to be taken care of. That will be one of the easy things we do.
Okay, in this next clip, Donald Trump is asked by an Iowa voter about what happened with the wall. The wall's not finished. And then Trump goes, well, it was the rhinos' fault. The rhinos stopped me. Here, play this clip.
Question, please. Hello.
President Trump, just back from Yuma, Arizona.
Good.
They love your wall.
Yeah.
One problem, it's not finished.
Yeah.
And the fentanyl is creeping into our country. What would you do?
So I always said build a wall. They said don't build it. I had some problems, even with a couple of rhinos in the Republican Party, as you know. And I ended up saying, look, here's the story. I'm taking it from the military. And I said, because I view it as national defense. This is an invasion. And I built hundreds of miles of wall and had everything completed. When everything was completed, we noticed that people were pouring into other areas. So we were all set. The wall was bought. The wall was ready to be put up, would have been done in a period of 3 weeks. And that's when we realized these people actually believe in open borders. They refuse to put up the wall. You know that because Arizona was one of the places. But we will get that finished.
Just a complete con artist. Here is another part. This is part of his speech before he got those questions, where he says his policy will be that he's going to order our government to deny entry to all communists, but he goes, deny them access to our cunny. Play this clip.
I will also order our government to deny entry to all communists and Marxists. Look, we have Marxists, fascists, communists. They're pouring into our country. We are going to deny them access to our country. Now, the one problem is, what about all the ones we already have that happen to be politicians, okay? Nancy Pelosi, Schumer, Schiff. How about Schiff? Shifty Schiff. Liar. What a liar.
And here's the thing. When he uses the term communists and Marxists and fascists, he uses them all interchangeably. He's referring to anybody who is not part of the MAGA Republican Donald Trump cult. So even if you're someone like a Bill Barr, you are a rhino. Of course, if you're a Liz Cheney, you are a rhino. If you are anybody who doesn't Chris Christie, you are a rhino, communist, Marxist, according to Donald Trump. And you saw the other names that he talks about, people like Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer and Democratic Congress member Adam Schiff. And these are just people who have held Donald Trump accountable. So they're Marxists, they're fascists, they're communists, and they're, and he says, he's telling you that what he's saying is fascist, that he's going to cause harm to these individuals. Here, again, it's all lies. I mean, here, Donald Trump talks about, he says that there are, in Democratic states, that what Democrats support and what pro-choice people support, he lies and claims they're doing abortions at 9 months and 10 months. Here, play this clip.
They are the radicals, not the pro-lifers. They tried to make the pro-lifers a red. No. When they're willing to go into 8, 9, 10 months after birth, they have laws that pass actually saying it's okay after birth. They are the radical ones. And this is an issue, if properly spoken about, it's because nobody wants to see that after a period of time, many people right from the beginning, but nobody wants to see after 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, death, termination. Nobody wants to see it.
And again, he is just completely lying. I mean, this is all.
Thank you, Jackson. I had to cut it off because here it was coming up next is when Trump starts to get. You know, my dad always said a sign of a person using a lot of foul language is a weak mind trying to express itself. Well, he must have an awfully weak mind that ever does sit around and cuss. Now, and we had to cut it off because of the foul language, and we're not going to play that here. I never thought I'd ever say that of a former president or president of the United States. But anyway, you know. By the way, just a side note to that. Now, first of all, the wall, okay? Parts of that wall that were completed were already there, okay? That was money that had already been allocated under the Obama administration, all right? Wake up, Democrats. He's lying again. Independents, wake up. He lies all the time. There was only, I think, about, 3 miles built, 3.5, 4 miles of wall, this beautiful, gorgeous wall. You heard his own questioner, and she said it's not there. You know, oh, we built over 250, 300 miles of wall. No, you didn't. You repaired certain sections of a wall where that money had already been allocated by Congress. Okay? Wall that was already there in certain areas, and I don't know where they are now, okay? Now, that's so much for the wall. Now, here's a side note. At the end of this video, you can go online and watch it if you want to. Again, courtesy of the Midas Touch. The caps they were giving out at this rally, which all these people pay to go to, okay? And you buy all this merchandise. This is all going to him. This is not a rally. It's a fundraiser, okay? That's the reason he has these things. He's making money, folks. He doesn't care anything about this country because the caps they were handing out were made. Excuse me, I got a gnat up here or something. Gnats are all over this place nowadays. Not just the state, they're everywhere. But the caps were made in Bangladesh. You believe this? Yeah. And real American, isn't he? Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to note that for you because it is it's just unbelievable the things that people believe. Okay, the last one I'm going to play for you. We're going to have to get out of here because I want to get Bill in here after a while and get his guest in here. Is the one on if you could from Midas Touch. Jackson MTG deletes post in panic after Tradeus interview with Donald Trump's girlfriend goes viral. You have that one pulled up? Okay. We'll get this for you in just a second. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's the one. Take a listen.
Hey, it's Troy. Hey, listen, Marjorie Trader Greene once again revealing who she truly is, calling Democrats the enemy and saying that Republicans should refuse to work with Democrats, should refuse to work across the aisle. Check this out.
Republicans need to always remember that and never forget it. And we have to understand the enemy that we're dealing with. This isn't the party that we should work with across the aisle because you can't work with communists and you can't work with liars and you can't work with cheaters. We need to treat them exactly how they are.
What an absolutely disgusting take. Listen, if you can't work across the aisle to get anything done, if you consider your political opponents to be the enemy, you should not be in government. Our government is founded on compromise between the two political parties. If you are such an extremist that you are unwilling to work with the other party, then you should not be sitting in government. She really believes that half of Americans are the enemy. More than half of Americans are the enemy. More than half of Americans are communists. I swear these people have absolutely no idea what communism is. But how can you call yourself a patriotic American? How can you say that you love the United States if you hate its people? Anyone who doesn't look like her or talk like her or think like her, if she even thinks, is the enemy. But it's pretty apparent who Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't think is the enemy. White supremacy, racism, fascism. Take a look at this tweet that she posted and then quickly deleted. It was of her doing a workout video. But in the background, you can clearly see that she has a cooler with a Confederate flag. Obviously, she didn't want that to get out into the public, but thankfully our good friends at Patriot Takes saved it for the internet, saved it for everyone to see that Marjorie Taylor Greene works out in front of Confederate flags. So obviously, she considers everyone who doesn't agree with her extremist fascist views to be a traitor to this country, while she literally supports the traitor's flag, the Confederate flag, the people who actually split this country apart, which is exactly what Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to do with her national.
Thank you, Jax. That's all I'm going to do tonight, folks. Listen, I wanted to tell you, Jackson, thank you for another good job. Thank you so much. I got to look at Marjorie Taylor Greene's view on the Midas Touch. If you see that, you can find them via YouTube. And you see her walking away from that work where she's working out. My advice to her, she needs to be working out. She looks like me. It's pitiful. I'm telling you, it's plumb pitiful. Folks, if you're not out here getting ready to vote, do so. Go get registered, please, 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 and go vote. I want to thank all of you. I want to thank every sponsor I've ever had, even if you're with me now today or not. From, Keep It Running, Heating and Cooling, all the way down to one of my first sponsors, well, Jay Mullins. They were with me. Thank you for being with me for the whole 10 years. It's been a great run. We'll pack up and go a little bit longer, okay? But until next Sunday night at 8 o'clock, this is Ed Raymer. I'll catch you down the road. Good night.